It is a Monday of suspensions. The ruling Jubilee party has suspended 6 nominated senators for disciplinary violations. The Law Society of Kenya Council has suspended LSK President Nelson Havi. A 5-judge bench of the High Court has issued an order restraining IEBC from subjecting the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020 to a referendum. DP Ruto's allied lawmakers scoff at impeachment plots. The latter forms the basis of our discussion tonight on Pundit's Night. But first, these are the stories making headlines tonight. Tonight, a family is seeking justice after their daughter was allegedly thrown out of a matatu in Juja before she died.
Alikuwa anamurusha. Naona ndio sisi tukafika.
Police are hunting the driver and the conductor of the matatu who are at large. Also tonight, Jubilee party expels 6 senators ahead of parliamentary group meeting tomorrow. The fate of majority whip Irungu Kangata hangs in the balance. Plus, ODM leader Raila Odinga rallies his backyard to support the Building Bridges initiative.
Development Fund, which is out there in BBI, where youth can go and borrow money.
As DP Ruto meets his allies who have faulted the report.
If it is in the interest of the people of Kenya, in your opinion, why do you want to use intimidation?
Tonight of all nights, Anne Wairimu is our sign language interpreter. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. Now, police officers in Juja are in hot pursuit of a matatu driver and his conductor for allegedly throwing out a lady passenger from their moving vehicle over the weekend. The lady, identified as Judy Wanjiku, an Equity Bank employee, died on Sunday out of injuries she sustained from the impact. Mwangi Maina begins our broadcast tonight.
It is this ill-famed public service vehicle, a matatu registration number KCZ729C, where 26-year-old Judy Wanjiku, an employee of Equity Bank Ruiru branch, fell off on that fateful Saturday evening, according to eyewitnesses' accounts. Wanjiku boarded this vehicle at Kenyatta Road Junction and her destination was to be at Moya in Kirinyaga County. But the journey ended abruptly, turning catastrophic at Juja, few meters after boarding the vehicle. The events that transpired at Juja lingered so well on the mind of John Mwangi Njoroge, a car wash attendant who was drawn to the ensuing commotion between Wanjiku and the rogue duo of the member circle. He too sustained serious injuries in the melee.
Wakati tulikuwa tumekaa hapa, tukaona madam amekuja anarushwa na driver, amelipishwa kutoka K Road mpaka hapa shilingi 200 na amepeana 500, akakosa kurudishiwa change. Driver alikuwa anamrusha nje. Sasa hapo ndio niliona tukaingilia, kaenda kumsave.
Within no time, the driver alighted from the stationary vehicle and tried to pull Wanjiku out, but she resisted. The driver would then get back to his seat and ignite the vehicle, prompting the closing door to hit Wanjiku and the car wash attendant, who had responded to the situation. Both of them fell with a thud, but Wanjiku's impact was seemingly big.
Kwa mpaki gari hapa. Kutoka mkono yake alikuja, akashika madam. Madam alikuwa amekaa kiti ya mbele. Alikuwa anamurusha. Naona ndio sisi tukafika. Kufika dereva akarudi. Akawasha gari. Na unaona madam alikuwa hapo na mimi niko hapo. Sasa mlango ndio ilitugonga. Yeye aligongeshwa hii pavement, mimi nikagongeshwa chini.
Mary Mudhoni, a nearby greengrocer, rushed to the scene, only to find a crying Wanjiku writhing in pain. Together with 2 other women, they took her to the Juja police station where they recorded a statement before Wanjiku's brothers picked her for medication at a private hospital in Ruiru, where she was treated and discharged.
Alikuwa na msave, juu angekanyagwa, alikuwa kanyagwa apitiwe juu. Sasa mimi ndio nilimtoa.
Ni kama alikuwa na maumivu, alikuwa anashikilia kichwa. Nikimuuliza ama kuna pahali pa amegongwa, yeye tu anashika kichwa akilia.
Nilipewa penikila kidogo na madawa kidogo. Tenda nyumbani.
Wanjiku would later be found on Sunday morning lying unconscious on the floor before being rushed to the Thika Level 5 hospital where she was pronounced dead.
Nikapigiwa simu juu nilikuwa nimetoka kwenda kazi. Nikakuja nikampeleka hospitali. Kumfikisha hospitali Thika Level 5. Although tulipitia Equity Afya, nikaambiwa na daktari ameaga.
The vehicle has since been driven from Wanguru police station where it had been held after being impounded to Juja police station. Authorities are promising an unprecedented search for Stanley Macharia, the driver, and his conductor, even as the Inspector General of Police promises that action will be taken for the rogue duo amidst calls for stern action from the family of the deceased and angered Kenyans.
We have been able to follow up and track the vehicle, and we have detained it here at Juja police station, and we are pursuing the driver who was with the vehicle the other day on 6th when the incident occurred.
Huyo ndo the only breadwinner wa familia, sababu alikuwa kazi mzuri sana hapa Equity ya Ruiru na alikuwa anashikilia wazazi wake sana.
In 2019, a 28-year-old woman was killed after she was shoved off a moving bus in Kileleshwa. Mwangi Maina, TV 47, Nairobi.
And may Wanjiku rest in peace. Elsewhere, Class 8 and Form 4 candidates have been urged to stay calm as they expect to take their national examinations come next month. Education CS Professor George Magoha has guaranteed expectant candidates that they too will not miss out on their national examinations. Nano Clauren with the details.
It is about a month before Class 8 and Form 4 candidates take their KCPE and KCSE examinations respectively. And as preparations carry on in schools, Education CS Professor George Magoha has yet again refuted claims that the students are bound to fail in the upcoming national examinations after recording a mass students' failure in assessment tests.
You can ignore completely the opinion of some of the newspapers who think that you are all going to fail. I can guarantee you that you are not going to fail, because those tests that were done immediately you opened school.
Magoha noted that the government is conscious that learning had been interrupted during the long break, and therefore there is no need for learners to develop anxiety, a hint that the exams may have been adjusted to accommodate the candidates.
The children should be at peace because the government is aware that they were out of school for 9 months. And so the exam will take place, but there is no need to be anxious.
Expectant learners have not been left out. They too have been assured of taking the examinations in a conducive environment.
All the children who are still out of school, the majority of them are females. They have issues. Some are just about to put to bed. Some are put to bed and they're just about to come back. We shall rehabilitate them in school. And for the ones in the examination classes, there is absolutely no need to be afraid. I have been directed by His Excellency the President to ensure that those girls have their exams in the most comfortable manner that is allowed.
Recent incidents of unrest in schools that has led to more than 10 schools being torched have been condemned, with learners aged 8 years and above now being put on notice that if found taking part in such activities, they will be subjected to legal action.
There are now teachers who are catching children, cheeky children, dosing mattresses before they put fire, by just finding out the smell. And I said, if you go to check the dorms, you will find the cheeky children. Are they more intelligent than us? Any child who is over 8 years, according to birth certificate, is liable to criminal prosecution. Some of the teachers are already now doing what they are supposed to do, and the children will not get away with it.
The national examinations are set to begin on the 22nd and 26th of March for KCPE and KCSE examinations respectively. Nano Cloren, TV 47.
From education matters, let's get to some politics now. And Jubilee Party has expelled 6 nominated senators allied to Deputy President William Ruto. The 6 among them, Isaac Mwaura, Millicent Omanga, can however challenge the decision. This even as the fate of Majority Whip Irungu Kang'ata hangs in the balance ahead of a Jubilee Senate group meeting tomorrow.
The party has expelled the 6 ahead of a parliamentary group meeting scheduled for Tuesday. The 6 RDP Ruto allies nominated Senators Isaac Mwaura, Millicent Omanga, Victor Pringei, Falhada Deko Iman, Naomi Jilo Wako and Mary Senator Yane, who were expelled by the National Management Committee. Jubilee Secretary General Raphael Tuju, who announced the decision, says that each of the expelled members had the right to appeal the decision. Isaac Mwaura had last week appeared before the Jubilee Disciplinary Committee to answer to charges of disloyalty to the party. The party will, however, decide on the fate of Majority Whip Irungu Kang'ata on Tuesday, with Kang'ata likely to be removed from his position. Sources indicate that Kiambu Senator Kimani Wamatangi is a possible replacement of Kang'ata, who recently said that the BBI was not popular in the president's backyard, central Kenya.
So for me, I'm trying to tell our leaders, please don't politicize this process. Ensure everyone is on board so that we have a constitution which has a very good rate of approval by Kenyans.
Last week, Jubilee Party's Vice Chair David Murathe said the party would expel members seen disloyal to the party.
Elsewhere, political leaders from the 4 counties in the Nyanza region have promised to support the Building Bridges Initiative bill. The leaders met ODM leader Raila Odinga in his effort to rally his political backyard behind the BBI bill.
It is a meeting that brought together ODM delegates from the 4 Luo Nyanza region counties. The meeting, convened by ODM boss Raila Odinga, resolved to support every proposal in the BBI report. Members of the county assemblies from the region have promised to adopt the report once tabled in their respective county assemblies.
This BBI document, from a legal perspective, Orange, and the questions which are being asked are questions who do not have a basis and a foundation.
The meeting also resolved to completely delink the handshake and the BBI from the 2022 election politics, to allow Kenyans debate the issues soberly and dispassionately, and to allow the government and the president to continue with the task of delivering critical services to Kenyans, even as we pursue envisaged reforms.
We do not need a person who is antagonizing the people of Kenya and antagonizing the government in Ruto, but we need a person who is organizing Kenyans and organizing the government in BAMBA.
The delegates say they will endorse and support the 9 principles on which the BBI referendum bill is based and the constitutional changes envisaged. The policies required as a framework for changes and the administrative measures to be undertaken.
Youth Development Fund, which is not there in BBI, where youth can go and borrow money in order to start their projects, and they don't have to pay any interest for 7 years. Access to capital is what our youth require.
However, during the meeting, the ODM boss ejected Siaya Governor Colonel Rasanga and Migori Governor Kodhobado from a podium in Kisumu. The consultative meeting brought on board members, MPs, professionals, delegates and members of the county assemblies of the lower Nyanza counties. The Raila's meeting comes barely a week after President Uhuru Kenyatta held a 4-day talks with different stakeholders from the central region.
Now, Deputy President William Ruto held a consultative meeting with his close allies at his current residence as the Senate and the National Assembly resumes their sessions tomorrow. Ruto's allies, however, decried targeted attacks at their rallies, claiming that some of their security details have been withdrawn. The leaders have, however, refuted plans to impeach Ruto, challenging their opponents to present an impeachment motion against the DP in Parliament. Our political affairs reporter Musa Salah with the details.
Less than 24 hours after concluding his coastal tour, Deputy President William Ruto held a consultative meeting with senators and members of parliament allied to him as the two houses resumed business on Tuesday. With the current meeting expected to weigh the Deputy President's influence in the two houses, Ruto's allies have expressed their concerns on the alleged state-sponsored chaos at Tanga rallies, protesting the withdrawal of their security detail.
The evil scheme, which began with the targeted withdrawal of security of members of parliament, has now been extended to total withdrawal of official security coverage by police officers at meetings attended by the Deputy President. Officially sanctioned hit squad has been formed to perpetrate political violence as witnessed in Keno, Murang'a County, and Msambweni in Kwale, and that it has been tasked to cause violence at the Deputy President's functions that were held at the coast this last weekend.
Siku tunaona askari wanakuja wako na plain clothes, hatuelewi hawa ni askari, hawa ni wakora, hawa ni watu gani. Tunawaambia kwamba kama ana deploy askari kukuja katika mikutano, wote wavae sare rasmi za polisi na tuone badge zao na tuone majina yao ili tujue hawa ni kina nani.
Ruto and his allies advancing their hustler narrative, claiming that the hustler movement will offer the country an issue-based political discourse.
Ukabila isiwe ndio ngao ya kutafuta uongozi hapa katika hili taifa la Kenya.
The tragedy of this model is that it makes ethnicity to be the focal point of politics, turning toxic ethnic contestation into the key feature of our democracy.
If it is in the interest of the people of Kenya, in your opinion, why do you want to use intimidation? Why do you want to blackmail people? Why do you want to use force? Why do you want to detain people? Why do you want to bribe the MCS? Why do you want to use state organs?
The leaders further refuting claims that there are plans to impeach DP Ruto, challenging their political opponents to table Ruto's impeachment motion in parliament.
Let them not discuss the impeachment of the deputy president in bars, in funerals, in the apartments of their girlfriends. Let them bring it to the floor of the House, starting tomorrow, Tuesday, when the House resumes.
With the Senate and the National Assembly expected to resume their sessions tomorrow, members of Parliament allied to Deputy President William Ruto have vowed to table bills that will change the lives of the ordinary mwananchi. Musa Salah, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Musa Salah, for that report. You are watching TV47 News Tonight with me, Abu Bakr Abdullahi. Keep talking to us. The hashtag to use tonight is Pandits Night. Time for us to take a short break. We'll be back with more news after this break. Stay tuned.
Properties Limited introducing Equator Gardens Phase 2 Nanyuki, a few minutes drive from Nanyuki town near Olpajeta Conservancy. This is a strategic property offering a homely serene environment with nearby schools, hospitals, with a space for children playground and kindergarten. Invest today with a cash offer price of 200,000 for 50 by 100 plot and a discounted price of 350,000 for 100 by 100 plot of land. Legal fees and transfer costs inclusive. This is a gated control development property with water and electricity on site. We offer free site visit every Wednesday and Saturday. Visit our offices in Kitengela Pena Towers first floor. Contact us on 0721 737300 or SMS the word plot to 40309. Title deeds are ready. Finca Properties Limited. Prime and affordable.
Changamka, cheza loto. Loto ni ya ukweli. Kwa majina naitwa Milika Wangoi kutoka Naivasha. Mimi ni mshindi wa loto wa shilingi 1,400. Nilipigiwa simu kitu kama saa 2 Ndio nikaelezwa mimi ni mshindi wa hiyo pesa ya Ruto na nikafurahia sana. Nimeshukuru sana kwa Ruto. Ningeomba watu wenye hawakubali Ruto ni ya ukweli. Ruto ni ya ukweli. Hata mimi mwenyewe hata nimecheza kati ya miaka kama 2 hivi 3 na sikuwa naamini Ruto ni ya ukweli, lakini sasa nimeamini Ruto ni ya ukweli. Hizo pesa juu nimepata nikiwa bado kwa biashara yangu, nitaziongezea biashara yangu na niendelee naye. Najua Mungu atanibariki nazo. Ningeomba watu ya upande ya huku kwetu nyumbani Eburu wacheze Ruto. Ruto ni ya ukweli. Happy Valentine from Ruto.
Changamka cheza Loto. You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Let's get to more news now. And the Law Society of Kenya Council has suspended its president, Nelson Havi, pending the ordinary general meeting in March. In a statement signed on Monday by 8 council members, the council called for the immediate suspension of Havi from office and duties of the president of the LSK. The statement further read that the recommendations were in respect to a complaint filed by a member of the society which challenged what is termed as illegal appointments of his supporters contrary to the law, further questioning his integrity to hold the office. The 24-page document went into detail of how and why they felt the embattled president was unfit to continue with his position, further questioning his mental capacity to run the prestigious seat. In a tweet, however, Havi dismissed the suspension, saying that the 8 suspended council members do not have powers to suspend him. According to Havi, that is a preserve of members in a general meeting. Havi's term as president was to lapse on 24th of March, a date which now will see him defend himself against the claims. Elsewhere, at least 300 youth stand up at the Nyahururu Stadium for the ongoing KDF recruitment that kicked off today. The recruitment also took place in Mwingi and Turkana counties. Mudhoni Maina with that report.
The Kenya Defence Forces recruitment program has started in various counties across the country. In Nyahururu, the turnout was encouraging, according to the organizers. Those presenting themselves for recruitment purposes were warned against falsified documents or indulging in any corrupt activities.
I want to say that the exercise started well. It is free, fair, transparent and open to all interested candidates who meet the KDF qualifications requirements for recruitment. Each sub-county each division will be equitably represented in terms of the slots.
Elsewhere, the operations went smooth in Mwingi, Kitui County, with over 200 youths turning up for the exercise. The initial selection in the various categories narrowed down to 70 recruits from the 200 who turned up, with further selection being done based on health and other parameters.
Tambulisho zingine zikiwa si sawa na grades za shule zikiwa zingine hawakuwa mhitimu. Wale waliobaki saa hii tunaendelea na ukaguzi wa madaktari kwa training ya askari.
In Turkana County, 4 men and 1 lady were recruited. According to the head of operations, Stephen Ketonyi, many youths showed up, but most of them did not meet the qualifications. Various recruits complained due to the specifics included to meet the requirements, including documents, weight, and age.
With us going through stage by stage, as you have witnessed, whereby we have been filtering the unsuccessful candidates, and at each stage we have been able to brief them of their deficiencies and why they could not continue with the process. During the exercise, we encountered a few challenges. Challenge number one is about education standards in this region. That has resulted to us not getting two female cadets that we wanted to have from this location. And also, we could not get an undergraduate mechanical engineer during our process.
The exercise is expected to continue tomorrow at Kibish sub-county in Turkana. The recruitment is meant to boost the number of servicemen and women in the forces. Mudhoni Maina, TV47.
Elsewhere, the ongoing operation by Kenya Railways to reclaim land grabbed and to demolish all illegal structures established on its land has continued to elicit mixed reactions across the country. Speaking separately in Mombasa and Eldoret, a section of Muslim clerics have faulted the ongoing operation while demanding that the government compensates those affected. Calvin Chitwa with the details.
The Kenya Railway has been enforcing a nationwide demolition exercise on all structures built within the railway land with an aim of refurbishing the railway transport sector in the country. But according to the Supreme Council of Muslims, the indiscriminate demolition of structures should have spared worship places, and disregarding worship centers amount to disrespecting the constitution.
Ni leo msikiti umevunjwa, Waislamu wamedhalilishwa. Paka sasa watu wanyamaza, waheshimiwa wote wale wa Kiislamu wamenyamaza. Hakuna aliyotoa sauti hata mmoja. Lasikitisha sana.
Led by Coast Region Chairman Athman Akbar, the clerics condemned the demolition of a mosque at Kibos in Kisumu on Saturday, alleging that the operation had underlying political reasons over the BBI debate.
SUPKEM haiyafikiani na mambo mengi yaliyoko kwenye BBI. Na kwa ajili hiyo tuipinga BBI sisi. Hatuoni kama ina maslahi yoyote kwa Waislamu.
We urge all religious leader, including the Christian, wajitokeze kwa sababu leo ni sisi na kesho ni wao.
But speaking in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu Council of Imams Chairman Abubakar Bini warned clerics against politicizing the operation to drive a wedge among different faiths in the country. While recognizing that the Kenya Railways should give special consideration to places of worship, Bini says it is too wrong and dangerous to allege the demolition is targeting certain religious groups.
Hizi mitandao za kijamii, Waislamu wengine wamekuja juu, wanasema watabomoa makanisa. Hili ni jambo la kutusikitisha. Hatutaki haya mambo iingie mgogoro wa kidini. Waliobomoa msikiti wa Kisumba na Kiboso si wa Kristo, ni wafanyikazi wa railway na wanafuata sharia.
Kwa hivyo railway ivanuliwe. Tukema hata kaunti zetu ya Uasin Gishu na kaunti ya Trans Nzoia na West Pokot na Turkana, wavuvue railway yetu ya kutoka Eldoret kwenda Kitale.
The refurbishment of the Kenya Railway has been hailed as one that will enable the country revive its economy. Calvin Chitwa, TV47.
Let's get to some regional but international news. And if you move around the city of Kigali, you will notice a high level of uniformity in buildings, whether residential or commercial. They all seem to be cut out of the same material. And this is what designer Johnson Bigby set out to create as an architectural designer. Diana Iriza reports from Kigali, Rwanda.
Johnson Bigby, who graduated in architecture at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology in Nairobi, Kenya in 2013, made a choice to move back to Rwanda to make a difference in his motherland by putting his skills to use with the inspiration of nature and environment.
Kigali has grown rapidly as a city, and a series of architectural designs have been a catalyst to the transformation of this city. John Bigby is here to share with us on how architecture has been redefined in Kigali.
I've worked on many buildings, but if I can remember well, it's close to 65. The requirement is just simple. It's you have a plot, you have an idea of a house that is of your dream. What I do is to advise first, then later, once I have advised you, we go ahead and create a design for you.
Bigwi believes that since Rwanda is a fast-developing country with many people continuing to embrace modern designs, the country will stand out from the other East African countries in terms of unique houses. However, he also believes that there is still a big number of Rwandans who still need to be educated on the importance of good architecture and design.
There is a saying that says that an uninformed society is a good client. If we can be able to teach, to demonstrate how a design can create a solution, not just design for the sake of designing,